Hey y'all, this is DJ Santana, host of Moonlit Vibes, only on Look at Our Radio Thursdays at 3. Hey guys, I'm coming in a little late today, which, it happens to the best of us. The computer here at the station is possessed and it hates every single one of us that works here, genuinely. Let's see. Whew, we got some questions. I'm so sorry, you can hear me flipping through this. We have some questions today, and today I'm planning on playing some more fun music because last week, for those of you that noticed, I did not what's it called, I didn't come in, there was no show because the weather was evil and it hated every single one of us. Yeah, I don't know, it's been hectic. I definitely have been going through it. I know, so many people have been going through it. But I'm just going to keep it fun today. We're going to get a lot of fun bops, as the kids say. Okay, so starting off, we have Girls in the Hood by Megan Thee Stallion. I'm going to get into some questions right after the music plays. Yeah, this is Moonlit Vibes. I'm DJ Santana. And you're listening to Veketa Radio, the Valley Student Station. Alright, that was Positions by Miss Ariana Grande. Come on, since that entire album has come out, doesn't everyone have one of those songs on repeat continuously? Okay, so this week, obviously last show we had a lot of Valentine's-centric questions, which are fun, and I always answer some sort of relationship question because that's something I always get no matter what. But today I want to start off with something that became kind of prevalent last week, is how to deal with anxiety. Obviously, we live in a country where as much as... Ooh, my phone was on silent. I'm so sorry. That is so unprofessional. Obviously, we live in a country where it is not always good or available for us to go to doctors and things to be like, hi, yes, my mind is attacking me, which sucks because I wish that we all could, get the help that we need and things like that. But it isn't, unfortunately, that's not the world we live in. But it is possible to help ease your anxiety by yourself. Now, I don't recommend this to everyone. There are levels to anxiety for every single person, and sometimes you just need help. There's no way around it. You need someone to help you. It's not always possible to go through it by yourself. And I feel like more people need to just accept that as a reality and kind of keep it cute and keep it moving. Yeah, okay. So obviously meditation, allowing yourself to, what's the word? Be in the moment, but there's another word. Allowing yourself to freely accept the moment that you're in and sort of release that. Because a lot of anxiety comes from, obviously, not being able to control the situation that we're in. And that sucks because as human beings, we just naturally hate feeling powerless and feeling defenseless. Now, obviously, I'm trying to put this in the best ways that I can, but it is so hard. Obviously, I keep saying obviously. It sucks. It's hard. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that it isn't some of the hardest stuff that I deal with as a person and what a lot of people deal with. It's hard. And knowing how to be mindful and around yourself, especially when there's things like a winter storm that came out of nowhere, even though now it is 80-something degrees. It's hard to be in the moment, and sometimes you just have to let go of those feelings no matter how hard it is and no matter how hard you want to hold on to them. And there's anxiety triggers for every single person, and finding out how you react to certain things is incredibly important, and why you react to them the way you do, and how to stop, if you can, stop being around those types of things. Sorry, that was a pretty downer, like, first time around, but I am going to pull a tarot card for the person that asked this question because, as you guys know, I do tend to, like, when I'm answering the question, it is, like, more general for anyone that might have the same question, but the tarot card is specifically the advice that, like, comes from the universe and all those good things. All right, so you did get the Nine of Swords reversed. Now, the Nine of Swords is usually a card of despair and sorrow and grief, but when reversed, it tells us that through patience and the release of selfishness, we can begin healing. And a lot of our anxiety comes from things that we went through in the past, or, you know, that whole situation, that any situation that we've been in can trigger anxiety, and that's just, I don't know, human brains are weird. I'm not a psychologist. But yes, through patience and unselfishness, it not necessarily forgetting that you are a person that exists and you need to be selfish sometimes, but releasing yourself from the guilt of selfishness sometimes, of saying, you know what, I can't do this, or I can't, if I do this, it'll be a detriment to myself. Yes, there are a lot of people who need me to do this, but if I do this, it'll be a complete and total detriment to myself, and saying, you know what, it is time to let go. But this card also signifies the start of healing over time, which is important. All right, next question. Let's try to, most of the questions today are very, like, anxious-minded and things like that. There's nothing really chill. I guess this one's all right. College, deciding to change your major. I am a major changer. I changed my major when I was studying for my associates for a little while, and I was studying English because I love writing and all that boring stuff. I love reading. But deciding to change my major to what I am now, which is a mass communications major, surprising no one. It was tough to kind of be like, ooh, yeah, I'm not cut out for this. Mostly because with an English major, you can't do more except get more schooling. There really is not. An associates of English is just like it might as well be a mouse pad. But kind of, I knew that I could, if I wanted to, switch to a major that was more job friendly. I don't know. I mean, you see so many people jumping into STEM majors because they feel like they have to, even if that's not their passion. I always believe in following my passion. I know that there are so many people that are like, you can't do that, financial, blah, blah, blah. Listen, I could not force myself to study something that I'm not passionate for. I just can't. Everything in me just kind of fights against it, and it turns into like this big old mess. So I wasn't going to put myself through that, especially not when I'm paying like thousands of dollars just so I can go study something that I hate. And I know a lot of people make the decision financially to go into majors that they might not be passionate about just because it's the best, they're good at it, and it's the best way that they can get money. I'm not that person. I could never be that person. And I respect all the people that do that. I am not that person, and I respect the level of willpower that is needed to do that, but I can't in good conscience advise someone to do that, because I know we've all talked to people who are like, I literally hate my job. I went to school for so many years for this. I remember talking to someone once, and they told me I had this good paying job, but every single day I would drive home crying because I hated it so much. I mean, listen, we're on this planet for who knows how long. And if you're going to spend your whole time here hating it, why? What was the reason? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, switching majors I was already in a liberal arts. God, I can't speak. I was already a liberal arts. Okay, I was already in like that whole area. It's not like I was switching from like business to mass communications. I wasn't switching from stuff like that. But I mean, this question is more specifically about like switching from STEM major, a STEM focused field, to something in the more liberal arts field, which I feel like there are some people that have a head for business. There are some people that have a head for STEM and STEM fields, and there's a passion within them for those certain fields. And I've met people like that. And I am so excited for them because I want everyone to follow their passion. But sometimes you are in a class and you hate every aspect of it, but you're in it because your parents want you to be, or you feel that's the best way you can make money. If you're in class hating every second of what you're trying to learn, is it worth it? I mean, you're paying for this. I mean, I feel like we've all met like someone who's majoring in something that is so opposite them and they despise it, but they're in it because their parents want them to, or because they see a financial future in it. Or, I don't know. If you find yourself pulled towards a separate major and you feel a passion for it, please just go for it. If you have the financial resources to do so, do so. I mean, if your passion is, or let's say the opposite end, you are studying liberal arts because it still seems so fun, but you have a passion for, I don't know, macrobiology or something, why would you stop yourself from pursuing something that you're passionate about? It is so weird to me that people in their 20s are being forced to study something that they not only hate, but they are also hemorrhaging money to study this and hating it the entire time. That is crazy. That is the definition of insanity. And I cannot. Anyway, I'm just going to pull a tarot card for the person that asked this question because I've been ranting for long enough. All right. For the major changer, you receive the Chariot, which is the card of triumph and victory and success. Great. Woohoo. You're making the right choice according to the universe, or according to me speaking for the universe. Listen, the tarot cards are a guide. If you really and truly don't think that you're making the right choice, maybe you're not. Maybe your first instinct was the right instinct. But this is telling me success, triumph, victory, all the good things. So, I don't know. My best advice is always follow your passion. Speaking of passion, up next we have Bad Bunny and Beyonce and some Rina Sawayama. This is Moonlit Vibes with DJ Santana. Alright, that was Excess by Rina Sawayama. Alright, before I jump into some questions, I want to mention that I am obviously not the only show we have here on Black Ghetto Radio. On Mondays, we have our newscast, and we also have a lovely show by the Aces, and that happens at a time that is 12 p.m. And then Tuesdays, we have the Chill Hour. Wednesdays, we have the Chunky Funky Hour. Thursdays, we have my show, Fallout Shelter, and Rock Hour with Z. And Fridays, we have Office Hours with DJ Doc V. Dr. V? Listen, I don't remember things. Anyway, let's jump into some questions. All right. A lot of the questions today are really serious, and I'm so sorry. I'm trying really hard to keep it fun. The next question is, I'm scared of graduating. Not really a question, but advice on graduation jitters. Listen, I start every answer like that. I'm so sorry. I mean, graduation jitters. We've all been there. We're all scared of time and the passage of it. Shifting from college to a job is such a weird situation for all of us. I mean, it's weird. It is. It is. It's weird. I have friends who have graduated. I personally have not graduated. Apparently it's cool. I've heard good things. Yeah, you kind of got me for a loop. I'm trying to think. I mean, graduation is at the end of something. It's the end of your academic career for most people. Some people still like go on to do more schooling, like you graduate and then you graduate like your associates, then you move on to your bachelor's, you graduate from your bachelor's, and you move on to your master's, you graduate from your master's, you go to do your doctorate, things like that. It's scary. I mean, change of any kind is scary, but I completely and totally understand the people that are aghast and horrified by the prospect of their career ending, because their like academic career ending, just because from like 5 years old till you're 20 something, you're in school like that entire time, and then you're just like, I guess it's done now. And I respect anyone that chooses to continue in academia. I personally would like to leave ASAP. No Rocky. I mean, always look at everything. I don't know. I guess I'm just that kind of person that every time something ends, it's a new beginning. No matter how scary the ending is, no matter how much it hurts, it's a chance for you to end this and start anew. And that can be really amazing, like a phoenix from the fire. Even if it was a dumpster fire and it sucked, it's done. You get to move on. And even if it was great and you loved it, and you're afraid of moving on because you're afraid of how things are going to go. I mean, the job market is crazy. We're basically in another recession. That is neither here nor there. I mean, I understand the fears. But, time, it waits for no one. I guess the best thing I can say is if you're above 21, drink at your graduation party. Drink so much. Remember that we are in a Pangea. We're in a panoramic. Wear a mask, but also drink so much. Just drink. Unless you have problems with alcohol, then, do other things that are legal. I would never recommend it. I'm going to stop talking now. All right, so for you, graduation jitters person, you got the card, the world. Now, to me, the world has always meant the blossoming of something. It can mean liberation, completion, and release, reward, triumph. All of these things are what is represented by the world. To me, the world has always meant what essentially the opposite to the death card, where the death card tells us of things ending, the world tells us of the new beginnings that are possible and happening right now. So yeah, look forward to that. It's good stuff coming your way. Here is another question. This one is a little more serious. When do I tell my partner that I am trans? I think I answered something similar to this last week, but this one is more, this one is a little different just because this is like a longer relationship. The background to this is online dating during COVID and things like that. And these two people are finally meeting. And this person is scared. I understand that fear so much. I'm scared to meet everyone I meet. But that's a me thing. Yeah, I mean, I would have told them sooner. But that's just me. I tend to tell people like right away, hi, I'm a non-binary trans femme, things, But I do understand that fear. There is so much transphobia in the world right now. There's just so much prejudice, and you hear horror stories all the time, and I completely and totally understand. I think it would be a good idea to tell this person before you meet up with them. To be like, hi, just pretend that, no, I was going to say gaslight them, but don't gaslight people. It's rude. Just be like, hi, yeah, I think I forgot to mention that I, am trans. It's important to, I completely and totally understand why some people aren't open with that, especially if they pass, I say in quotes, quote unquote pass. Yeah, it's tough. It is entirely tough. I mean, I think it's important to be honest, not only for relationship stuff, but for your safety. Because you never know how people are going to react, and a person can react violently, no matter how much you care for them or they have said they care for you. I'm going to pull out a tarot card for you, person who asked this question. All right, you got the card, the Wheel of Fortune. Now, the Wheel of Fortune tells us about the ever... To me, the Wheel of Fortune, the Wheel of Fortune has two meanings. The Wheel of Fortune, whenever I pull that out when I'm doing someone's reading, it tells me that this is part of their journey. This was always meant to happen. But the Wheel of Fortune also tells us about changes in luck, about the ebb and flow of probability and fortune around us. Because as we know, the world is crazy and it's always changing. I think this is a good omen for you. But don't take my word for it. My best advice, like I mentioned, is please let the person know before you guys meet up, see how it goes from there. And if it doesn't work out, then it just wasn't meant to be. And it's okay to accept that some things, no matter how much we want them to happen, don't. All right, let's see. How many questions did I answer? That was two. That was a cute little two. Okay. Let's hop back into some music. We have some Luna, K-pop, some Destiny's Child, maybe some Conan Gray. I don't know. I haven't decided. But this is Moonlit Vibes, DJ Santana, and you're listening to Vaquero Radio, the Valley Student Station. All right, that was Maniac by Conan Gray. We are winding down here at Moonlit Vibes. Well, here on Moonlit Vibes at Vaquero Radio. Okay, here's a question that I think might take me a while to get through, so I'm just gonna... How to properly balance work, school, and life. It's really funny that I'm getting asked this question because I am either really good at it or so bad at it. Okay, whew, this is a hard one. Balance is achieved only through Balenciaga bags. No. Balance is so hard to achieve. I mean, we live in a society that is so focused on work and finances and achieving financial stability because that's the society we live in. Yeah, it's hard. It is so hard to kind of juggle school and work and existing as a functioning human being. It's not impossible. It's sort of similar to the anxiety thing. You have to kind of accept that things are not only out of your control, but there are some times when you just can't be pulled any more ways. It's very American centric to bite off more than you can chew and just say, oops, I'm just going to do all of this and not sleep for 3 days. Why? I mean, work is important and school is important, but why are you biting off more than you can chew? Why, I just thought of, my mom is gonna, why are you being a QO? I can't say it on the radio, but, why are you just offering yourself to all this? Like, oh, I'm just gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. Why? Why bite off more than you can chew? It's important to give yourself a chance to rest. When you don't rest, it's not only a detriment to your work, it's a detriment to your school, and it's a detriment to your health. I mean, if you're working like a 70-hour work week and then you're doing school and then you're also just trying to not die, just not, don't push yourself so hard. It's so frustrating because I know so many people that push themselves so much further than they have to. And I just want to like grab them and like sit them down and be like, relax. I'm going to make you a cup of tea and someone's going to massage your feet because I don't like touching feet, but that's neither here nor there. Like, relax, please, for the love of all the good things in the world. Just the thing about balance is knowing when your scales are unbalanced. It's knowing when there's too much on one side. It's deciding what you're going to... For so many people, instead of saying, you know what, I can't do this at work, or I can't do this for school, like, especially if it's not something that you have to do, if you decided, oh, I'm going to do this, like, oh, I'm going to help a bunch of people with their schoolwork, and then I'm going to go to work and ask for a bunch of extra stuff to do, because, you know, I want to make a good impression. To make a good impression, you have to be a functioning human being who is not a zombie. After pulling a bunch of all-nighters for most of the week, you're not going to give your all to your work, and you're not going to give your all to your school, and you're definitely not giving your all to yourself. We're supposed to be trying to do our best and giving our best to school and to work and to all these things. But we as human beings need maintenance. We need care. We need some days where we are just in bed. We need days where we drink so much water. Please drink water. There's so many people that don't drink water. That's important for balance. But there are just days where you have to say, okay, my body is physically not able to take any more of this. I need to ask for help. That's another thing about balance. Being able to ask for help and not letting it hit your pride and your ego. Oh my God. I could talk about this for hours because it is so frustrating to me, but yes. My best advice is figure out where the imbalance is coming from. Figure out if there's anybody that can help you. It is so important to ask people for help. I don't know why so many people just don't do it. There are so many people in this world that love you and are willing to do things for you. And just ask for help. It's so important to just sometimes say, I can't do this on my own. I need help. And then looking for that help. And finding it. All right, I'm going to pull a tarot card out because I'm running out of time over here in my little rant. Ooh. Oh my God, I just dropped everything. Hold on. Speaking of balance. All right, the card that you got, dear seeker of balance, is the King of Swords. Now, the King of Swords, represents a person in authority, usually a man. This is telling me that there is someone around you that is willing to help you find this balance. You just need to ask them for it. And sometimes it is hard to come to someone and be like, I can't do this on my own. You need to help me. But it has to be done. This is telling me that this person wants to help. They just don't know how. And they may also be wanting to... Sometimes the best way to work out an imbalance is for two people to say, hey, I'm imbalanced in this. And the other person say, hey, I'm imbalanced in this. And then help each other. Sometimes that is the best thing to do in these situations. And this is telling me that the person around you wants to, but there is there's a block in that. Okay. So that was your answer. I'm going to play a quick little song, She by Haley Kiyoko, and then I'm going to be back to say goodbye. All right, that was She by Haley Kiyoko. We have come to the end of Moonlit Vibes for the week. I know. It's awful. Parting is such sweet sorrow and all that jazz. I have fun. Well, the questions this week weren't like super fun, but there were a lot of really important questions that I feel like could apply to a lot of different people. Yeah. As always, I'm going to be here every Thursday at 3. Unless we freeze over again, then who knows? And you can always ask questions on the Radio FX app or on Instagram. I think if you send the Instagram page if I get a radio question, they'll let me know. I don't know that for sure because I'm not entirely sure who runs that Instagram. But yeah, I don't know. Try it out. Radio FX app though. I think that's the best way to get it done. Yeah. This has been Moonlit Vibes with your host, DJ Santana, on Vaquero Radio, the Valley Student Station. Hey y'all, this is DJ Santana, host of Moonlit Vibes, only on Vaquero Radio Thursdays at 3.